So hi everyone, I'm Kai. I'm going to the second year of university, taking on business and economics, and my commitments are actually in Bondue.
My name is Shaheed. I'm going to be a year 3 student and I'm going to be majoring in operations analytics. Besides academics, my other commitments would be that I'm the vice captain of the men's dragon boat team.
Hi guys, my name is Kit. I'm going on to my fourth year of study in SMU Business. My major is actually in finance, right? So some of my other commitments is I actually work part-time in the school gym.
Okay, so for me, Dragon Boat actually trains about 4 times a week during the semester. During like the term breaks or that, we will train a lot more. Yeah, to balance it together with my academics, I guess I'll always ensure that I get something done every single day. So that by the time that the deadline comes around, I wouldn't like unnecessarily panic.
Okay, so for me, right, because I'm in Bondue, my role deals with corporate relations. I'm a deputy role, so I work alongside with my director Farid. In order to juggle between commitments, right, we will delegate our work. At times whereby I feel that my workload is kind of heavy, then I'll talk to Farid about it. So we just make sure that we're not overloading ourselves at any point in time.
So for myself, I work out quite a bit. Working out definitely takes up a lot of my time during a day already. And besides that, I still have to put in time for my academics. I still have to find time to work in the school gym. What I actually do is I prioritize what I have to do. And then after that, I see where I can actually take time off. So from there on, I see what are the things that I can take out. And then I speed that time up and put it somewhere where I need to.
I think when it comes to taking on commitments, right, it's a good thing that it's split into different phases. So let's say, for example, during a summer period before the school starts, or during winter period before your second semester starts, you have the time to actually plan what you want to do during that semester. For example, I'm going to take 5 modules for next sem. I'll try to take on something that is not too tedious and I'm able to dedicate enough time into various aspects.
Okay, so firstly, I would think about whether the commitment would be a good challenge for me because, in my opinion, like if taking out commitment is something very, very comfortable for you, I feel like you wouldn't really learn much from it. Secondly, I will consider my ongoing commitments. So you need to think about the other things that you have to do first and whether like you can actually dedicate the amount of time required. Lastly, I would ask around for advice before taking up this commitment. So for example, in the circumstance of exco position, you can definitely ask your seniors, those that have held roles in the exco, about how they manage their time, about the role itself, about the responsibilities, and see whether it's something you want to take up.
Okay, so for me, before I actually take up any commitment, I'll actually look at what's my learning curve for this new commitment. After that, I'll actually look at the quality of this. So if I were to take up this commitment, can I actually produce results of certain quality that I have set for myself? And also at the same time, will actually this commitment compromise on the quality of my current commitments? So this is something that I definitely have to balance. Definitely. I would actually say that the most difficult part when I have to juggle these commitments and my study actually comes from the start. However, once you get comfortable with it, you get a better sense of what you are doing. Things should generally get a bit easier because you are in a better position to now handle all these things. I would actually advise you to cut some slack and have a bit of area for tweaks because you can have the perfect plan but you cannot predict all the externalities that are going to happen. So give yourself a bit of space for this rejuggling period. I think you definitely be in a better position to tackle these externalities and have a smoother transition overall.
I think initially it will be definitely very tough because like what Shahid and Kit has mentioned, right, you try to take on things that are challenging in relation to what I've been doing, so corporate relation, right? I'm not used to speaking with external stakeholders. That's something I struggled with. So me and Farid, my director, will actually practice beforehand. So I guess practice it's a key aspect, and when you want to do something, always try to practice for it. Once you get comfortable with it, I think you should be able to do fine.
For me, yes, because especially closer to project submission week, you'll be scrambling for projects and all this, and then the last thing you want to think of is like, wow, I have training tomorrow. I guess how I deal with it is that I would kind of change my mindset and like sort of see training not as a commitment and think of it as a hobby. So I take the time during training to actually de-stress and yeah, just basically enjoy it, and it wouldn't become juggling commitments, rather juggling a hobby together with a commitment, which I feel like is a lot more manageable.
In general, try to have an open mind and always try to challenge yourself, because when you're in university, that's where I think, as cliche as it sounds, you try to make as many mistakes as possible. So treat university, your 4 years here, as like a playground for you to try new things.
Yeah, my advice would be similar to Kai's, which is to challenge yourself. So definitely be open to taking up positions that you might not necessarily be comfortable with. But at the same time, you should also recognize that you do have limited time and limited resources, and that you cannot just go around taking up every single thing that comes your way. So yeah, definitely challenge yourself, but at the same time plan ahead and be sure that you know what you're in for.
So my advice that I have would actually be go and speak to as many seniors as you can as possible. Find out what are their ways of managing their time, and then you yourself can tweak certain of the methods towards your own liking. And also, university is probably going to be the last leg of your education career before you enter into the workforce. So it's very important for you to play hard aside from studying hard as well. So make sure you enjoy your time in school.